last section for chapter 4, the real number system. Now a lot of this should be a review for you. We talked about our real numbers last chapter. The only thing we're really adding is our first vocab word here. An irrational number is a number that cannot be written as a fraction. So rational numbers can be written as fractions, irrationals cannot. When written as a decimal, irrational numbers neither terminate nor repeat, so they don't stop, and there's also no pattern to them. The sets of rational numbers and irrational numbers together make up the set of real numbers. So another vocabulary word for you there. Real numbers are the set of rational and irrational numbers. The diagram below shows the relationship among the real numbers. So over here we have our irrational numbers. They're kind of by themselves. If it's irrational, it is nothing else. Over here, the bigger section, starting in the middle, we have our natural numbers. Remember, these are our counting numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so on and so forth. Next up, going out, we have our whole numbers. That's our natural numbers plus 0. Continuing out, we have our integers. Integers would be our whole numbers and their opposites. So now we have negatives. Remember, they don't have to be negative though. Now notice, no decimals yet. No decimals, no fractions. And last step out would be our rational numbers. That's any number that can be written as a fraction. So any of your natural, whole, or integers plus fractions and decimals that can be written as a fraction. Okay, so now that we have done a quick review there, we want to classify some numbers. So name all sets of numbers to which each real number belongs. Write natural, whole, integer, rational, or irrational. Well, you were told that they're real, so we can ignore that step. So first example, 21 over 7. We see it's a fraction, but let's double check. 21 divided by 7 does give us 3. So we're really thinking about the number 3. So if we go back to our chart here, how far in can we go? Well, it's a natural number, so that means it's natural, it's whole, it's an integer, and it's rational. Remember, if you think about this circle, where we were doing a box last chapter, go the furthest in that you can, and then count everything out from that step. So 21 over 7 is natural, it's whole, it's an integer, and it is rational. Okay, part D, square root of 38. I don't know what square root of 38 is, so let's go over to our calculator, clear out everything we've got so far. Remember, second, x squared gives us square root. Square root of 38, let's see what that is as a decimal. We see 6.164414003. Judging that it has this much on it, we're going to assume that it does not terminate. Anytime it fills up the calculator like that, it does not terminate. So now let's check if it's repeating. I see 16441, but then we go to 4. So it's not repeating. So if it is a non-repeating, non-terminating decimal, that was our new vocab word there, that means it cannot be written as a fraction. So it is irrational. And if it's irrational, remember irrational was over here all by itself, so it is just irrational. It cannot be anything over here. As soon as you write irrational, you are done. Okay, so that's classifying. Now, replace the dot with less than, greater than, or equal to make this statement a true statement. In order to do this, so we have 3 1/3 compared to the square root of 15. We want to express each number as a decimal, then compare the decimals. Well, hopefully by now, so we've got 3 1/3 compared to the square root of 15. We know that 3 1/3 1/3 is a repeating 3, so 3.3, go ahead and do 2 3's repeating. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know the square root of 15. So go back to your calculator, second, x squared, 15, 3.87 continues after that. But we're just going to deal with 2 decimals right now. 3.87, we'll kind of dot, dot, dot to show that it continues. 3 and 3, okay, so far they're the same. Then we have a 3 versus an 8. Well, 3 is less than 8 since we're both positive. So our answer is less than. Answer is less than. Alright, one last problem. Order this set of numbers from least to greatest. Again, just like before, in order to compare them, we first need to put them all in the same form. So we're going to write them as a decimal first. So 8 4/5. 4/5 is 0.8, so 8.8. Square root of 64. 64 is a perfect square because 8 times 8 gives us 64. 8.3 repeating, well that's already a decimal, so we don't have to do anything there. And square root of 78. Again, pop back to our calculator, second, x squared. We're doing 76. 8.717. And it continues after that, so dot dot dot. Okay, now they're all in the same form, so now we can compare them. Least to greatest, so our lowest number here in decimal form will be 8. Now when we write our answer, we always go back to the original form. So we have square root of 64. Next up, looks like 8.3 comes next. 8.3 repeating was 8.3 repeating in the original form, so we're going to keep it. 8.3 repeating. And that guy's gone. Now we have 8.8, 8.717. Okay, this one's smaller. Go back to the original form. We have square root of 76. And last but not least, 8 4/5. So again, always must go back to the original form. Do not write the decimals. Right, that is the last section of this chapter.